When I worked in the Co-op supermarket for years, there is one moment that happened that still haunts me. If anything, it's probably the epitome of what this podcast is all about. And I think there's been a part of me that's been too scared to start off one of the episodes so far with this tale. But here it comes. I was in charge of putting out all the fresh produce and all the fresh meat first thing in the morning. I would get in there at 6 a.m. in the morning. And this was a small village store. Okay, it wasn't big. One morning, I was going in after a particularly heavy and large night out with my mates in the local pub. I'd had a doner kebab. On top of that, I wasn't feeling very well. I would say my stomach was questionable.
Did
at
Paul you
best.
have a kebab shop?
This was actually when I moved down to, I was in Renfrewshire at this point,
sorry.
working.
Right.
I was a working man.
Did Paul you have a kebab shop?
No, it did not.
No, I don't think so.
Although Gairloch now has a Chinese.
Wow.
The village over, so
Yeah.
pretty metropolitan.
I love small town Scottish Chineses. Have you been to the one in Bunt Island?
I've not.
Friendlies?
No.
They are special. What's it called when a place has a special? A special.
A special.
The special is steak pie
Oh,
in
no.
the Chinese. That's messed up.
Those people. I used to do that at team nights out. We'll come back to that story, but we used to go on a team night out when I played basketball, and we'd go to Chinese and Indians, and there was always one guy in our team, Greg, I'll not say his last name in case he's listening, he would always just get like the steak pie or like the lasagna and chips at the Indian. Pathetic.
That's pathetic. I was a fish and chip. I was a fish fingers and the Indian boy growing up, but now I've grown.
You were a fish finger and Indian boy.
Yeah, fish finger and an Indian boy. By which I mean I would order fish fingers in the Indian as a boy.
Well, when I worked in the supermarket, this incident this morning, it's awful. It's shameful, really, to be honest. And I actually I think there's a part of me that hopes enough time has passed that there will be no sort of legal or financial ramifications of what I'm about to say. Because I haven't ever really told it publicly. But that morning I was in, so, you know, probably about 6:30 a.m. in the morning, very hungover, rumbled tums, felt very gaseous, I must say. And when I was putting out the fresh chicken fillets on the wee front fridge display, I farted. Okay, there's no way to dress that up. Just a real long, gaseous, noxious smell. It was really bad.
Fumes.
There's only a few of us in the shop at this stage. Okay, and I thought, I'll just do this, get it out of my system. And I knew it was bad. However, Betty, I probably shouldn't use real names, but Betty that worked in the till, she was coming around. What she used to like to do is pick up the stuff that she wanted for her shopping before the shop itself opened, so she could put it through the till when it was done for the end of the day when she finished. She came round the corner and stopped as if the smell was like a wall. Yeah. She stopped and smelt it. I could see her reacting visually to the smell.
The taste. And
her first thing she said was, she went, oh, Chris, that chicken is off. Like, her first thought. Like, she didn't even consider it, like, off poultry was her first thought. Yeah. It couldn't have been human made. No. From no other source. It was definitely the chicken. Now, you've got to understand, I had like 3 or 4 at least cases of these chickens. And I didn't want to just say, oh, maybe it's one pat. You know, she was so adamant. She said, you need to go and tell Gavin, who was the boss. And so sheepishly I was like, oh, yeah, okay, I'll mention it, thinking, I can't tell the manager that the chicken's off because I know I've just farted really badly. Yeah. But then I could hear her being like, Gavin, you got to smell this chicken. And I was like, oh, this is escalating. And the longer I left it, the more I couldn't just go, of course, this is me. Like, that smell was me. And then Gavin comes over. He smells it. I think I actually went to his office first and said, oh, Betty thinks the chicken might be a bit, you know what, it's Betty, as if I'm trying to like...
Classic, huh?
But he came over and smelt it and he was like, oh my God, you're going to have to spoil all that chicken and I'm going to have to get in touch with the supplier. And then that was my job as well. So like, I took at least, as I say, I don't know, it was 3, 4, 5 kind of crates of fresh chicken, but like beautiful, fresh chicken fillet packs.
Not fart smelling at all.
And I spoilt it all. That's what you call it with a machine. You put it through as spoiled. And I must have thrown away, you know, 400 odd pounds worth of chicken.
That's messed up.
I feel awful about that. No, I had to spoil it, put it in a bag and throw it straight in the dumpster. That was awful.
I would have been dumpster diving that night for that beautiful unfart smelling chicken.
People starving in the world. I feel awful.
Yeah.
Just because I didn't have the guts to say, guys,
I farted.
I really farted.
I remember being in my work when I was working with my dad's hairdressers, and I farted really bad. And one of the women I worked with just decided to explain what farts was to me. She was like, "Do you not realise what that is? That's gas that was inside your fucking arse, and now I'm breathing it." I'm like, we all know what's happening. We don't have to explain it.
It sounds worse though, completely spelled out.
That was in your arse and now it's in my nose. You're like, yes, technically that's true.
God.
If you want to get into the technicals of it, yes.
Well,
thanks for having me on your podcast.
Well, this is it, man. This is what the podcast is all about. And
that wasn't a regret though. That was just this strange person I met once.
Wow.
And worked with.
Well, listen, I feel like we've introduced the podcast in a pretty wild and interesting way.
Uh-huh.
So let me just say an official welcome back to another episode of Stop Flowering. Stop Flowering. Now I've got another one. Stop Watering. Dead Flowers podcast with me, Chris Forbes, in association with the Stand Comedy Club. Stop watering dead flowers. Chris, it is a pleasure to have you on.
Thanks so much for having me on.
Can I just, I always try and do like a wee, as a way of introduction, like who you are.
Oh, aye.
I feel like a lot of my guests now as well, though, you are someone that's, you really don't really need much of an introduction now.
Wow.
So that's fair to say.
No. It's unfair to say that to
tell
the
them
listener.
Tell them who I am. Please tell them.
People don't actually know my name, I think my face, maybe you've seen me on like BBC Scotland or on a poster or something, but you go, "Oh, you're that wee comedian." Nobody's like, "Oh, you're Chris Macarthur-Boyd."
But then when they hear the name, they go, "Oh, I think I've heard." Because it's such a, I think it's quite a unique name, isn't it?
Unique and unmemorable. A great combo.
Good. You don't often get a kind of, the kind of triple barrel.
I know, it puts people off me, I think.
You think?
Yeah, they go, posh.
But maybe if it was, I mean, because generally you go Chris Macarthur-Boyd rather than Christopher MacArthur, or do you?
I insist.
Yeah.
On the full.
Because if it was Christopher Macarthur-Boyd, for some reason even shortening it to Chris makes it feel more like, he's
just one of the boys. But then Christopher, all of a sudden you're picturing a crown, cape, velvet, furniture in the house, gilded life.
Well, however people view you, it's fair to say, either way, you're one of the country's top leading stand-up comedians.
Leading podcasters of the
and
country.
podcaster as well. Yeah, with the Here Comes The Guillotine as well.
And the joint album with Liam Muffnell currently.
Of course.
Defunct.
Oh my days.
Always wanted to get you on that. 'Cause you've got a pretty interesting taste in music.
Well, Liam asked me about that once, and he asked me what album I'd have, and then I don't know if, because I told him which album I would do, he was like, "Nah, we can't do it."
What was that?
It wasn't like it was obscure or too weird. It's just that I told him my favourite album, certainly growing up, was the Drifters. And he just kind of stopped talking for a wee moment, because I think you guys were quite cool and listened to quite a lot of cool music.
Uh-huh.
And I was giving him a wee rendition of "There Goes My First Love." And
there goes my baby, all that type of stuff.
You're not a million miles away there. There goes my first love, woo, with the guy I used to call my friend. It's a great album. Anyway, you're here on this podcast now, the much celebrated Early Days podcast, and you have brought some of your own dead flowers, let's say, your own dead flower moments with you to share with us.
Yeah. Can I just say, you got a set dressing here, which is 2 rotten flowers, and these are just left here now.
This
like
is
when
it.
You're not here, and people are like, "What's happened to this place?" Do you know what I mean? Like, green room got renovated, amazing. We've got a carpet now, brilliant. Big lamps for IKEA, super. Fridge, tea bags sometimes, awesome. And then now there's just 2. An unloved person's funeral is currently like during Red Rose and stuff.
I'll admit that even I was surprised when I brought one set of them and then left. I thought they'll get thrown out, but they're still here. And then I brought up some new ones as well.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's where the budget's gone. It's been blown on dead flowers. So
and the water is manky. And it's in, you know.
But what a great symbolic depiction of what we're discussing here.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that is, you know, you wouldn't drink that. That is regret there.
Someone will, I'm sure, at some point.
A red raw.
Mm-hmm. Some wee guy just, have a look what I've said. Look. Young boy dies at the Stand's Red Raw night after drinking Chris Forbes set dressing dead flowers for his hit podcast.
Oh wow! I'd have another introduction story though for another episode.
I regret killing that wee boy. He could have been the next Kevin Bridges, but instead he is in a box under the ground.
Wow. Do you know, it's funny, Sean here as well, our kind of producer really, but we were saying hopefully no more death stories after the last 2 episodes featured death quite heavily.
Oh, good.
And this one just, that was accidental. We've killed an imaginary
dead in the story.
Fictional
dead in the
guy.
title.
Well, that's true.
You're going to have death
every time.
I've got pretty fun topics, I think.
Good.
You know?
All right. Have you a preference of where you want to start? We tend to start with the childhood one just because it's like, you know, chronological.
Could I go career first? Is that okay?
Please.
'Cause this is like, keeps me up at night.
Good. That's what we're about.
Brutal.
Okay. Paint the scene.
It was at the Fringe. Terrible place for regrets to occur. I'm realising it would have been 2022.
Okay. Recent?
I was at Carnivore.
Oh no.
At the bottom of Blair Street, a now non-existent meat restaurant.
That's right.
That is now a Chinese nightclub.
That's a transition, isn't it?
Transition indeed. And we were up and doing gigs in this, and there's 2 rooms in Carnivore. Carnivore 1, Carnivore 2.
I remember that.
Yes, one of them was nicer than another one. Carnivore 2 nicer than Carnivore 1 in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the same room as someone like Stuart McPherson. In the other room you had Vittorio Angeloni, I believe, doing his first run ever.
Okay.
Erica Eller doing her debut as well. Really cool room.
I think I might have seen Mr. Chonkers.
Yeah, Chonkers was in there too, for sure. It was I felt like I was having a good year, you know, that way when you're like, I've got it going.
You're in it, bit of buzz,
selling well for the first time ever. 60-seater. I just felt good.
Nice.
Right?
What's that like?
Incredible. One day, yeah. And I was on Twitter. This was back in the day when you could be on Twitter, right? You know, I'm not on Twitter anymore. It's not called Twitter anymore. X. The everything app.
It is here.
That's what it's called. Follow this Glasgow subway on X, you keep getting told. For some reason, despite it not displaying any indication of where you are on the line or any other information. It's just like, follow us on Twitter. Anyway, I was on Twitter. And Chris O'Dowd. Who's I think, an incredibly talented comedic performer.
What a guy.
Obviously, IT crowd is stained by Graham Linehan's transphobia.
Sadly.
But that's not his only hit. He's got Moon Boy.
Yeah.
Bridesmaids.
Of course.
The list goes on. He's an incredibly talented comedic performer. I like him. I listened to a podcast once where he was talking to Louis Theroux.
Nice.
He had this really interesting story about like he would go to acting auditions, and to try and make the people behind the desk remember him, he would go, I just got bit by a dog outside, and do this really fun story about like walking down the street, get bit by a dog, and then people would be like, what? And they go, no, let's just do the audition, and then they would like him, and then he done it for the same director twice.
Oh no.
You need to get on your pod to do this story.
That is perfect.
Yeah.
Up until that, I was like, I had audition this morning. I wish I'd done something that
I
was
wish you said you got
memorable.
bit by a dog.
They were like, I think Chris O'Dowd used to do
How
that.
often have you been bit by dogs? It's like the kind of reaction. So I just like him.
A nice guy.
Nice guy. And he was on Twitter going, any good shows to see at the Fringe this year? And people were saying Vittorio, people were saying Stuart McPherson, people were saying Chris Macarthur-Boyd.
Get in there.
And a few people were saying Chris Macarthur-Boyd, and I was going, okay.
Here we go.
And then I went, sometimes you want to leap. Sometimes you don't want to have regrets your whole life.
Direct contact.
Hey man.
Nice.
If you're looking for a show, feel free to see mine. It's called oh no. You know, come if you want.
Oh, that's not casual. Nice.
Yeah, cash.
Like you've slipped in his pocket.
I was keeping him cash. It's like I wandered up to my bar and went, hey man, yeah, mumbled something. And the sound bonus here. He liked my post. I was going, oh, okay.
It's happening.
It's happening. Next day, one of the producers of the show, one of the Off the Curb girls, comes up and she's like, oh, hey, selling well for tonight. And I went, any names in the
Special
ticket list?
guests?
And she was like, what are you talking about? And as I was talking to her about this, who comes skipping down Blair Street? Blair Street? Blair Street.
That's how skippy he was.
Blair Streep is Meryl Streep's husband. He was there as well. I'm talking about Blair Street.
Yeah.
Who comes skipping down Irishly with a big scarf on and a big Irish head.
Oh.
None other than comedic actor Chris O'Dowd.
Oh my God.
And he walks right past me and I go, it's fucking Chris O'Dowd. And she goes, yeah? And I go, yeah, Chris O'Dowd.
He must be heading in.
Must be heading in to Mav,
Yeah.
Carnival, yep. And I go, okay. And I go inside and I go up to him. He's sitting at the bar downstairs and I go, upstairs on your left. And I go up.
Pretty assertive. Pretty assertive.
Do my show. And he didn't come in. I was like, what the fuck's going on here? And I'm waiting around afterwards. I'm like, I'll need to tell Vittorio. His show's at the same time, basically. And then who comes out of his show?
Oh,
It's
no.
Chris O'Dowd came out of Vittorio's show. And that doesn't seem like that big of a regret.
No, it's...
Story's not over.
Oh, no.
I'm like, I thought he was coming to me. And I went up to him and like slapped him in the arm and went, thanks for coming. I said to him, thanks for coming, man. Upstairs on your...
After you'd finished
No.
your show? Or on your way up?
On my way up at the start, I was like, thanks for coming. Upstairs on your left.
No way.
3 nights later,
3.
I'm at the Pleasance Dome.
Don't do anything silly here. I'm already worried.
I've had a few pints. I go to the bathroom. I'm at the urinal. I look over. Who do I see?
Please don't tell me.
It was Irish actor, not to be confused with Blair Streep, the non-existent English actor. It was the Irish actor Chris O'Dowd.
Oh, no.
And I went, hey man, I don't know if you remember on Twitter, I said you should come see me, and then at the venue I said upstairs on your left, and you went in upstairs on your right to see Vittorio. But yeah, that was so embarrassing. And then he was like, oh, don't. He was really charming. He's like, don't worry about it, man. I've done stuff like that myself and stuff like that. Yeah, and I was like, you can still come and see the show.
No.
Fuck me, man.
Just pure desperation digging.
Just need Moon Boy to see me.
Oh.
I've got a show this year called Howling at the Moon. Part of my windows. Is this a message to him?
Come on, Chris. Put him out of his misery.
Chris O'Dowd, please, if you're listening to this.
How did he react to when you were then kind of desperately trying
Then
to be
I
like...
went back to the another time, and I guess our P schedules had just synced up or something.
No.
And he was like, are you fucking waiting around here hoping for me to get my dick out? So you can fucking
You start
whisper
doing your show in the urinal next time.
Yeah, just stay there. So,
This is how it starts. Doing your remote intro music.
please welcome to the stage, Christopher Macarthur-Boyd.
I just really want you to see this. I really need you to see this.
I look like Gog Wan or something up here, you know? No, that was
I take it he never came that run?
no, and since then, you don't realise how much stuff he's in.
Oh,
Because I think it's one of the things where if you have an encounter with somebody who's famous,
Yeah.
you see that you're on, you get Sky Plus set up in your house for the first time, flick it on, first face popping up on your TV screen, the face from your nightmares.
Yeah.
Um,
That is, I mean, Black Mirror as well. He
Black
just did
Mirror.
recently.
Not seen it because I can't.
Oh, I tell you what, his is really good.
This is like a Black Mirror episode.
He's a great guy.
Is he?
He's so good in it.
Jesus.
Do you know which of the moments throughout that story, because there's so many horrendous parts to that,
It's because it's self-inflicted.
do you think, is it the initial thing of being like, upstairs on the left, is that the one that comes
Thanks
to the
for
most...
saying thanks for coming to someone who hasn't came.
Oh... Because I don't know, there's something about the 3 days later and trying to explain it that makes
Talking
it kind
to
of
a stranger
worse.
at a urinal's never good.
It's kind of it's kind of like your pal that tried to explain where farts came from. It's just not good. You're like, let me explain that embarrassing situation.
Yeah, you just need to know when you're beat. You need to know when you're beat. And I was beat straight away.
But maybe you'll be back, and then this will be such a great thing you'll be able to tell each other about. And
When we're on holiday together. We go to the Bahamas together in 5 years. Coconut bras on and all this type of stuff. Grass skirts. And we're like, remember how we met? And he's like, not really.
thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming, brother. I do the eulogy at his funeral. Hey, it's like I always said, thanks for coming.
Oh,
Now you've went away
that
to the afterlife.
that is a tough one. I've got to tell you, I can. This is a definite clear one that I can picture you every so often just going, said that.
Come
but
on.
What I also like about this story is, considering where you're at and still your upward trajectory, I would say there's a good chance you will cross paths with comic actor Chris O'Dowd in the future, and I feel like this will be a beautiful moment when you get to explain this story to him.
When we do the ITV crowd. The ITV crowd? We're doing a remake of ITV crowd for ITV. There's no attachment to Graham Linehan whatsoever. It's actually a movement to get rid of him from the history books. And me, Blair Streep, and Chris O'Dowd he plays Moss.
Wow. Have you ever? We'll move on from this one, but I'm curious if have you ever tried to reach out to him again, or was there any other nearly social media interactions again? Or
No.
I wonder, has he been back up? Have you heard Chris O'Dowd's at the Fringe again in following years, and you're like,
I don't think he'll ever come back because of me. I think he's off.
You've ruined it for everybody.
Yeah. It's just made me go, I don't know. I seen a clip there of Greg Davies at Glastonbury.
Oh, really?
And someone comes up to him and goes, "You want a sticker?" And stuck on you, and he goes, "Not really." And the guy goes, "Okay." And he just sticks the sticker on him on his chest.
Yeah.
And then films this, and Greg Davies just looks a bit like, I said, "No,
Yeah.
oh, thanks," And I guess people just kind of feel an ownership of famous people.
Yeah.
How dare I assume Chris O'Dowd? At first it was a misunderstanding, but then for me to go back to the well, drink deep from its waters, you're just thinking, come on, you don't know him. You've seen him when you got IT Crowd on DVD for your Christmas when you were 17, and now you think he's your friend. He's not your friend. You're parasocial relationship with an Irish guy that doesn't know you for Adam. And he loved Vittorio's show.
Really made Vittorio.
That cosign from an Irish showbiz legend really helped him.
Do you know there's a part of that's making me think of, it kind of sounds like I'm name dropping now, but only just because it was a recent thing, but that thing of you forget how massive certain people are. But when I got to meet Andy Murray recently,
he's big.
There's a part of me that was just kind of he'd be like, Chris, and hey Dad, Duncan, and recalling all the sketches I've done, but it's just because I have been doing stuff about him adjacent for 5 years. But he's been travelling the world. He's been an elite sports person the rest of the time. And I'm like, hey, we've known each other for years. We grew up together.
Well, you know his mum.
Oh yeah, I mean, but I just mean it was funny. There was a part of me that just thought he'd be like, hey, proper old pals. But we haven't worked together. He's just been like, who is that guy that hangs out with my mum? This is really weird.
Yeah. That guy who done a show at the Kings with my mum.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice to meet you.
So weird. I just always assume Judy tells Andy and Jamie absolutely everything. But
I think they get a fairly close relationship.
They are close, but even he's huge. He's got such a big team around him, and he's worldwide. He's a Mr.
Probably
Worldwide.
the most famous Scottish person in the world.
So even when I was telling him about a time where I'd crashed a press conference with Judy. Jamie Murray was doing a press conference, and Judy had set it up that I would turn up as Duncan halfway through and just start banging on the door and coming in, and she hadn't told me that she hadn't let Jamie in on it, and this was the first time I was going to meet Jamie. But we did this whole situation and burst in. It was great, and it was really good fun. But I was explaining this to to Andy, I was going, I said, I always wondered, I said, I always hoped those sketches didn't like annoy you or like pissed you off in any way that we were doing them. And I said it was kind of like, well, I was explaining to Jamie at this event and when I gate crashed it and stuff, and he was like, what was this event? Like, what did you do?
What?
Mum, what's this? What are you talking about? And I'm like, oh, you don't know anything that I've been doing. Of course not. Like, why would you know what I've been doing?
Yeah.
So, yeah, pretty weird. Anyway, that's a great story to start with. You're Chris O'Dowd.
Do you regret the Jamie thing? Do you regret Judy not telling her son that you're going to get Crash's press conference as a character?
Bit.
Yeah,
a little bit. Leon Smith was there as well, captain of the GB team, and they were kind of looking around like, what's happening?
Who's this guy, man?
But to his credit, he just went, oh, hi, Duncan. So he kind of got in with it. So
okay, that's good.
Anyway, let's concentrate on your shameful moments, please. Where do you want to go next? Okay. We can go career, relationship, or other.
Childhood's too vague. It's like I guess I could come up with different. I just regret being so scared when I was a wee boy. I was really like, just not like I wouldn't jump off stuff, and I wouldn't.
Oh, really?
I just wouldn't like the dark and anything like that, and I was just like, come on. And now I'm like, not scared. I'm like kind of.
Well, you walk up to global celebrities and tell them thanks for coming. So you really overcame.
John Hamm coming as well. Bring John Hamm next time, you stupid cunt. Sorry for swearing on your podcast. And really, I remember my dad took me to Disneyland Paris.
Nice.
And it was fraught with tension because my dad's just one of those dads who will take you to Disneyland Paris, but if you lose your glove on the train, you'll be like, now you're getting your gloves. Then you're just wandering about Disneyland. There's all these rides. He's in a glove quest.
Yeah.
You know? And I think I ruined it for him because he took me to the big roller coaster. It's not called, what's it called? Splash Mountain?
Oh, aye.
What's
big
it called?
Famous one where it goes into the water and splashes everyone.
Aye, but is that what it's called?
You get the photo and all
Space Mountain.
Oh, Space. There is a Splash Mountain.
Where?
I'm sure I've done. I think there's like a few of them, but maybe I'm just putting them all together. I don't know if Space Mountain has a big splash bit, but Splash Mountain literally has a roller coaster that goes down into water at the end and it splashes.
There's a lot of people who love roller coasters and theme parks, right. And if any of them are listening to this, they're going to be screaming at me, how dare you? This is like getting Meryl Streep and Blair Streep confused.
Splash
Mountain and Space Mountain are completely different. Space Mountain is the flagship Disney roller coaster.
I see.
As Ric Flair once, he compared himself to Space Mountain.
Did he?
He said it's the oldest ride, but it's got the longest line.
Nice.
And he is a sexual predator. There's a rumour about him where he's going to restaurants in Florida and shitting himself. Don't know if you've heard about that. Not to get away from the story. I'm two layers away from me being scared as a child, but he...
what a rumour.
Yeah.
But people just talk about it. Oh, he shits himself.
That someone's like, it was on the Florida restaurant group, and it was like, is anybody else having Ric Flair come to the restaurant and shit himself? Because I'm fed up cleaning it up.
I'm fed up. They keep allowing it to happen.
Woo! Yeah. Shout out to Ric Flair.
Wow.
And his bowels. Oof. You wouldn't have to explain a fart to him, I'll tell you that much. So anyway, Space Mountain. And like, I believe generally in the theme park community, and I'm not involved in that community, but I do have respect for them. Generally, the French Disneyland Paris, is known as being maybe the worst compared to Disneyland Tokyo, Disneyland other ones.
Yeah.
But the Space Mountain is considered to be, at least in this time in the early 2000s, late 90s, I believe, early 2000s, it was known as like, that's the best ride in all the parks, maybe. Wow. Even though, the rest of the park was
because the American ones, is it not called something different as well? Like one of them's Disney World.
Yeah, they get Disneyland,
Paris is like
Disney World, Disneyland Paris, Disneyland Tokyo.
Okay.
Did not go to Disneyland Tokyo on my sojourn to Japan last year, much to the chagrin of my ex-girlfriend who is a Disney adult.
Oh, wow.
Let's not get into that.
I wish we could. We need to change the format of this podcast. to hear more about that. Wow.
You would really get people talking for a while if you had a podcast where the theme was, what annoyed you about your ex-partners?
Yeah.
I think everybody on the planet could really get into that.
Wow.
But no, she was an amazing person. Anyway.
So you went all the way over there. Space Mountain.
Huge. And I just remember being like, I think I cried but at the sight of it. We were about to queue up and I just went, I can't do it.
You didn't even queue. That might have been worse though if you queued and then changed your mind.
Yeah. Some of the queues. You're paying to queue.
Yeah.
When you get one, I know they get the queue skip stuff you can get now, but like, fuck me, man. The idea of paying hundreds of pounds to get into one of these places with your children and then you stand for 45 minutes.
Aye. So what? I mean, is the kind of regret that would have been a cool thing to do with your dad?
Yeah, it would have been nice.
Go on Space Mountain, the premium roller coaster of its day.
Yeah, I mean, it would have. It's just like
you'd have had the photo. You and your dad.
I know there are a lot of deaths in Disneyland, right?
Right.
I've gone Snopes.com. You're going Snopes.com?
No.
Snopes.com was big when I was a wee guy with me because it was like an urban legends website where they checked to see if myths and urban legends were true, and it could be either this is not true, this is true, this is partially true. And they had a master list of every death in every Disney park.
Oh.
And there's been a lot.
Had you seen that list before you went over?
Yeah.
So that must have been in your head a wee bit.
Yeah, that was an issue.
Shouldn't have looked at that. You weren't just scared. You were literally scared of dying.
Can I change my regret to going on Snopes.com?
Oh, man.
And I just remember going, Dad, I can't go in, that's too scary. And he just looked at me like he had a pretty rough upbringing, I think. And he had a lot of genuine things to be afraid of when he was a child. And the idea of bringing up this wee, or raising this wee weakling, a queer hawk, as my nana might call me. A Jessie Biscuit, as my nana often accused me of being.
You wee Jessie Biscuit. A Jessie Biscuit sounds like what a queer hawk would eat.
Oh, you wee queer hawk with your packet Jessie Biscuits.
Oh, wow.
Nobody wants to have a Jessie Biscuit for a son.
But you know as well, you'll have overthought that now probably, because he probably, even if he was a bit annoyed, it was probably he would have been annoyed if, I'm thinking like, if I now took my daughter, it's at an age where he was probably quite excited about just going on it. Like, before you get too old, you're like, as like a dad, you think dads just have to do stuff with their kids, but actually you're like, I want to just go on a roller coaster.
No, I think he wanted to go on a roller coaster.
But I don't think he would have had any actual harsh judgment on you.
No.
He would have just been like, oh man, like my wee kid's scared, so let's not do it.
No, we went in some safer rides.
The teacups.
Worse. Because at least the teacups has the kind of...
It spins
torque.
Yeah.
You know, as you feel the G's, you're spinning about a bit. We went on it's like a ride that tells the story of Sleeping Beauty, I think, or Snow White,
right.
And it's just like a car that goes through, and you see dioramas.
Wow! But listen, did you enjoy it?
It was a bit much, even that. Even that was a bit much.
Poison apple.
Don't bite it.
Wow.
Oh, I'll tell you though, can I throw in something,
please,
that I'm proud of?
Nice. Look at this. Redemption. Instant redemption here.
Went back to Disneyland Paris with the school the year after.
Wow.
And I lose things quite a lot. Undiagnosed problems, I would say. I lose all the time, and with the school you got given a token, a voucher, as part of your ticket as being part of the school.
Okay.
You got one free slice of a cheese pizza from I believe is it Gaston from Beauty and the Beast?
Oh, aye.
He had a bistro,
Of course.
and it was a pizza restaurant, kind of French style pizza restaurant. We all love when we'll get a French pizza, as I'm always saying, my beloved. So I lost my voucher probably within 10 minutes of entering the park.
Man.
And I remembered my dad gave me some euros. So everybody else went there and they got the voucher pizza slice with fries and drink. I had 20 euros. I got an entire 4 cheese pizza plus fries plus not the wee Snyder drink. A real drink, not a fruit shoot or the French fruit shoot, le fruit shoot. I'm talking fucking Coca-Cola. And see that feeling, not to name names of people I went to school with, but you're Ryan Wilkie's, you're Callum Ferguson's, whoever else, they all had the one slice. I had I've never felt so much like a king in my life.
Wow. Do you know I'll tell you what, I'm kind of surprised and find this amusing was because truly when you went, but do you know why I'm proud? And you were like, a couple of years later, I went back to I thought you went on the ride. I was like, what a beautiful circular moment. But it's just that you bought a pizza. You're actually proud that you lost a voucher and had to spend some of your money that was for the rest of the trip on a big pizza.
Tell you what,
yeah,
I did go on the ride.
Did you?
Yeah, the second time I went a year later. I started dressing kind of spiky hair, baggy jeans,
bit more peer pressure as well.
Bit more peer pressure, and I loved it. I went on it twice.
Oh, I bet your dad was kind of gutted when he found out.
And do you know what? They took us. This was the first moment I realised that there was a kind of gender gap growing up. Was that on that trip, the boys got taken to Disneyland twice. The girls got taken to Disneyland once.
Oh no.
Monet's Garden once. And apparently Monet's Garden was full of bees. So they just got chased about this fucking disgusting pond by a bunch of bees. They don't know who Monet is. Fucking 11.
That's incredible, really.
Yeah.
The gender stereotype of that is
the second time I went back to Disneyland on that trip, I tried to go on the ride. Another ride that was called Indiana Jones Minecart ride.
Oof.
And the first time I went, I had big chunky skateboard shoes. Second time I was wearing Converse. Didn't let me on because I was too short.
Oh no.
I was just a shoe sole away from being allowed on,
What
so
a
that's
shame.
another regret that
you
I'm not slightly
became
taller.
shortstop from Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom. Sorry, kid.
No time for love, Dr. Jones, unfortunately.
Well, another great story. I'm still slightly saddened by the whole. But when I went back, but you did go on the ride, so
yeah,
it's
I did
good.
go on the ride.
It's
Yeah,
good.
but it's probably the first time I had a 4 cheese pizza in my life, and I'd only ever had mozzarella and cheddar at that point, and to be hit with blue, gorgonzola, whatever they were dishing out in Gaston's Bistro, Gaston's Pizza Bistro.
I feel like I see clips of him on social media, like the characters from Disneyland and Disney World, like when he's just cutting about doing press ups in front of guests and stuff like that. Do you remember him doing anything like that?
Oh, he wasn't there. Pizza. He wasn't there.
Oh no, he's just the proprietor.
Yeah, it's like McDonald's. You don't see Mr. McDonald there every time, I guess.
Okay, let's move on.
Right,
these are great. These are great stories. These are great, and I feel like you've overcome each of them already. Like you're not. They're not haunting you too much.
What else has the people been on where they're doing like real regrets?
I feel like, a couple of times people have been like, "Oh boy," and like Susie had a story that I still think about, that her work story where like that actually had implications. Like, I was like, wow,
she was a sparky.
Keep you up at night.
Yeah. Well, this is why I'm not an electrician, because the death toll would be sky high.
People going on Snoop.com.
Snopes.com.
Snopes.
How many people did Chris Macarthur-Boyd kill? Was it 600? When that electrical plant exploded? This is partially true, it was 900.
Just went on to checkatrader.com. It's not looking good.
Chris O'Dowd's heard about me now, that I've slain hundreds of men and women in a horrible electrical accident gone wrong.
There's so much death in this podcast.
Okay. There's 2
Okay.
left.
Nice.
Can I give you the titles and you can see what one you want?
Okay. Although for anyone that's listening and thinking, I wonder if this guy is ever going to one day threaten to do a Patreon, then maybe we'll save one of them.
Maybe we'll save one for the pay.
For you lucky devils that pay £3. Let's hear the first
5.
Make it 5. Is it that good?
£3 doesn't go. Oh, I suppose. Right. So this is a kind of relationship one. You could probably tell from my tidbit about the Disneyland Tokyo that I've got more recent relationship issues.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go back to when I was 14. And I nearly had my first kiss.
Nice.
It was, maybe I'm commingling stories in my mind. But there was this girl we were boyfriend and girlfriend, but we just held hands.
It's hard to put a label on it when you're that age, isn't it?
Yes, well, we did. We said we were each other's boyfriend and girlfriend. That was all it was. It was just a label.
Right.
There wasn't the content.
It was an empty package with a label on it.
Yeah, but it was meaningful in that, I thought she was cool. She thought I was kind of cool. We were 2 kind of wallflowers, I suppose you could say. She had a really cool house with family. And
I just sort of wasn't expecting that. You were saying such lovely things about her, and then
she was
had
cool.
a lovely house.
Her house was nice. She was cool. She was the type of girl who would dress up as the milk carton from the Blur video for Halloween.
Oh, that's cool.
That's cool. Cool girl. Recently done stand-up, and she was in the front row, and I didn't recognise her and did crowd work.
Wow.
Maybe I'll get to that after. That was a regret. Oh, how'd you know each other? We went to school with each other. Oh, yeah? And you? What? So she was like my first girlfriend. We were just held hands. But I remember one time, I don't think it was, she had a really great surprise birthday for me in her house one time. This great house.
It's a lovely house.
Loft conversion into a place with an electronic drum kit and a PlayStation 2.
Oh man,
An entire slab of Pepsi Max, no doubt from Costco. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was just me and her once. It was a big party, and then me and her went in a room as boyfriend and girlfriend, and we were sitting on a couch. And I realised I'm about to have my first kiss. And I don't know, but I still don't really know how to kiss people. I'm not asking you to show me.
That's why we're here. Now the price does go up.
Exclusive Patreon content. I will kiss my guest and give them feedback. It is a slight detour from the theme of the podcast, which is regrets. But you need to make it in an online marketplace these days. The premium content includes measuring the guest's tongue with my own tongue, giving them a tasting menu for what their kids tasted like. That would be horrible. What a nightmarish podcast that would be. To kiss the guest and then review their kiss. What the fuck? It's like something Jake Paul would do.
I'm going to start with the lips. Now,
slightly cracked. I have a number for Olivia Man if you're interested in this sort of out. So, I still don't really know what. I just put my face in there and hope for the best a lot of times when I'm kissing people.
No one teaches you how to do it.
No one there's no guides. People do. Oh, you do your hand a wee bit, but it's not the same.
No.
The face doesn't have knuckles. As they say. And I just remember she had like not fear. She was looking at my eyes, and I just remember she'd been eating Doritos.
Oh no!
And I don't like Doritos. I like a 4-cheese pizza when it's Sorry, my phone's going. I like cheese. I'm not against cheese.
Yeah.
It's just I do have a slight eating disorder. Maybe you could call it a very restricted palate. Common in the neurodiverse community, I suppose you could say. And I just remember just like not kissing her, and then Someone went, "Hey, what are you up to? We're doing this outside." And I just, the moment passed, and then we didn't.
You didn't go on Space Mountain?
I did not ride Space Mountain that day. I didn't even queue up.
Was there a slight lean from her side?
I think so. In my mind, there was.
Oh boy,
hard to know. But I just remember, and then we never kissed.
Never,
ever.
Kind of fizzled out from that day. Probably.
And let me tell you, see when you're doing crowd work with that person at the Glee Club on Redfield Street. No offense to the stand, but see when you're doing, you're hosting the show, and you're like, "Hey, what you used up to?" And she's there with her new partner,
right?
And her friend who was her friend back then, her new partner. They just, you've not seen them in 15 years. They're adults.
Yeah.
It's hard not to bring up. You wish you'd kissed them.
Did you say that?
No. But it was screaming inside me. Tell them the story. Tell everybody the story, Christopher. And I just held it down. Oh boy. Held it down.
But it feels good to get it out now. Then.
It felt good to get it out now, and it felt good to it felt good to see them doing good, and it hadn't scarred them. She seemed happy with her partner for several years.
You've held on to this belief that you might have scarred her. She's had a complex about eating Doritos and kissing.
Yeah, you don't. If only I had said, could you
brush your teeth,
or maybe just have a glug of Pepsi Max, wash some of those cheese.
It's quite a dusty crisp.
It's a dusty one. See, if it was a what's it? Nah, they're pretty dusty as well. See, if it was a Quaver, fine.
Yeah.
I don't mind that styling, but that tangy cheese, words like salsa scared me at that age.
Yeah.
So to see that on a packet and then vicariously receive that flavour by kiss, to me that was like, I just can't function here, you know.
Boy.
It keeps me up at night.
I feel like we've heard some real seminal moments in your life that has made you who you are today.
Yeah.
There's some really formative years stories there.
Yeah.
And I understand you more now, I feel, as a person. But
Thanks for having me on your wonderful podcast. Can I plug my special and stuff?
The last thing I always wanted to say as well was what have you got coming up? And I know there's obviously, this should go out while the Fringe is probably just started, but then also I'm sure you've got your finger on a lot of many pies. 3
pies. I've got my podcast, Here Comes The Guillotine, with Frankie Boyle and Susan McCabe, who was on this. And I've got a YouTube special doing stand-up. I've got 2 YouTube specials, but the new one's called Scary Times. That's on the Some Laugh podcast channel. And I've got my friend's show, new show, Howling at the Moon. I'm doing a work in progress in the stand tonight because a tree has fell on the train line and an English act can't make it up, so I'm replacing them.
Wow.
So I can't plug that because that will be happening today, and this has to be edited and stuff. But I'm got a new show all about. It's more when I started, all my stories were like embarrassing stuff that happened in my teenage years, which is obviously ripe.
Yeah, it sounds like
But now I think things are more like what's going on just now, which is like a different. It's hard to stand up about what's happening just now, but it also feels really like nice. Yeah. And there is actually embarrassing stories about being a teenager in the new show. I just remembered that I've put a bit in.
Okay.
It's like the fucking the jewel in the crown of like absolute teenage misery and like attempting to find yourself and stuff. So come check that out, and that'll be a YouTube special in like a year and a half probably.
Please check out all of those things, listeners. And once again, we thank Christopher Macarthur-Boyd. I've given you the full Christopher there.
Thank you. Fun time, Forbesy.
And
fun time for Betsy.
A big thanks to everyone at the Stand Comedy Club that helps produce this podcast. Big Sean Stables there. Chris Thorburn, the editor.
Shout out to Sean. Shout out to Chris Thorburn.
And yeah, if you feel enamoured enough with this podcast that you're willing to give us maybe £3 a month to keep doing it, keep producing it, please feel free to sign up to the Patreon. We're going to put on some bonus content there, much like the story that Chris has just told us there that's quite frankly horrendous. You've been listening to Stop Watering Dead Flowers. Thank you very much. Cheers.